You will have no doubt heard that Harry Potter is heading to the small screen on HBO and the streaming service Max. The show is currently in pre-production and casting is underway. The series aims to start shooting next year for a 2026 release date, and we will reportedly get a season per book, with season 1 adapting The Philosopher's Stone, or for American audiences, The Sorcerer's Stone. More information will certainly come to light over the next few months as production begins. As I've said, pre-production is still happening and the casting process is underway. Similar to the Harry Potter films, a big casting drive has been put out for the 3 main characters, Harry, Ron and Hermione. Reportedly, there have been 32,000 auditions for these 3 roles. This certainly makes sense in terms of looking for a child actor or a teenage actor who they want to play these roles, because it is going to be a big drain on them and it's going to impact their life in a more significant way than an adult actor would be impacted by a famous role. As far as I'm aware, there's no casting indications in regards to the main children of this series, and they'll probably be kept under wraps until next year. And other casting news that has been talked about I'll cover in a minute, but I certainly don't think we're going to hear any official casting announcements this year. We've only got a few more weeks till 2025, and I don't feel like it'd be the right time for HBO and Max to announce the cast just before Christmas. They might do that, but I feel it would make more sense to wait till the start of next year, or even the start of the next tax year, depending on how production is going to go. It's also worth reporting that apparently the same sets are going to be used for Harry Potter series as they did on the films. Now, that could work to some extent. I don't know if the creatives behind this series would want to put their own spin on it, but as the Harry Potter brand is a staple of British culture, and the fact that there's these theme parks in Universal Studios, and we also have the Harry Potter world set just north of London, means that they'd probably not want to change that at all, and they want the iconography of Harry Potter to stay the same. With the TV series announcement, they used the same font and title design for the series, and that makes sense at this time, but I feel they could go for their own creative spin on it down the line, and just to get people excited, they're going to lean into the movies, which are still very popular. I believe it's been said that the Hogwarts Legacy game is the new map of what Hogwarts is going to look like, and that's what the Hogwarts grounds and castle are going to look like in all future productions. So it does have something in common with what we saw in the Harry Potter films, but if you look at them, it did change over time and adapt. But having this digital blueprint of the Hogwarts we are getting in the Hogwarts Legacy games and bringing that to the small screen and all future Harry Potter productions could be a wise move. You can still have some of the aesthetic of the Harry Potter films, which I do believe Hogwarts Legacy does, although it does take some creative liberties. And obviously people want to see this Harry Potter series maybe be a bit more faithful to the books, because there was a lot that was missed out when adapting those books into films, more so in the later movies after The Prisoner of Azkaban, because the first 3 books in the series are quite small compared to all the others. It's only in The Goblet of Fire onwards that the books became significantly bigger, and when you're adapting that book into a 2 to 3 hour movie, you're going to have to take some creative liberties. But we still have quite a bit of time to wait before this goes into production, and I think it'll be kept under wraps significantly, so we might not get to see any stills or what the characters look like, or even any trailers for quite some time. And if this is aiming for a 2026 release date, which in theory could be missed if they don't get the casting right in the next few months, and the show might not even go into production in 2025, but they might have to wait until 2026 instead. As the first 3 books are significantly smaller, it makes sense to me if they were able to condense those shooting back to back and maybe have quite an intense production, but maybe get Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets and Prisoner of Azkaban's production back to back and shoot that within 18 months, and then maybe go to yearly with the rest of them. That way they could accommodate the fact that these younger actors are going to age. That did happen on the films initially, and obviously when you get to the end of the films you could see the significant age increase of the young actors. Not that that impacted my enjoyment of the stories or how the films turned out in any way, but it's just something they should be aware of. There have actually been no official castings as of yet, and there have been rumours of some of the actors surrounding the roles in the series. One of the big ones, which just seems to be a fan favourite, but nothing concrete has come from this, is Cillian Murphy to play Voldemort, and he was actually endorsed by Ralph Fiennes, who played Voldemort in the movies. I feel like this is quite unlikely to happen. I don't feel like Cillian Murphy would do a series role like this. It might be a small role for the first few years, but it doesn't seem to me this is something he'd want to commit to. But we'll have to wait and see. There's probably other actors who may not be as well known as him who could probably do as good or even better a job. I mean, Cillian Murphy's just recently won an Academy Award, and going to a remake of a popular film franchise on television might not work out for him in terms of the way he wants his career to go from now on. So I feel like that casting is unlikely, but never say never. Initially, we only had a few casting rumours, and they don't really have any weight behind them other than some of the Hollywood press reporting it, but initially the rumour was that Peter Capaldi was in the running to play Dumbledore. We had Leslie Manville rumoured to be playing McGonagal, Christian Nairn rumoured to play Hagrid. These did seem like smart casting choices, and I believe those actors would potentially do these roles, and I actually think these three in particular would be quite good, but we have to wait and see for some concrete casting rumours. Later down the line we had the likes of Mark Rylance, another Oscar-winning actor who has starred in a lot more films recently, being rumoured to play Albus Dumbledore. And we even had Gary Oldman, who played Sirius Black in the films, say that he could play Dumbledore in this series. But that was seemingly Oldman just commenting on the fact that he was asked about it rather than concrete information that he's actually interested or willing to do it. He's currently shooting Slow Horses, which it seems like quite an intense schedule because it's releasing a season of that series faster than one season per year. But he could have room to have the small role of Dumbledore in the first series and then take on the bigger role as it develops. I could see Mark Rylance actually playing Dumbledore quite well. I think he could have that warm sort of Richard Harris feel that he had in the first two films, because I feel like Richard Harris really captured how I saw the character in the books, and as much as I liked Michael Gambon, he kind of lacked that warmth that I think Richard Harris had, and there's something about Mark Rylance that I think would capture that part of Dumbledore really well. The most notable casting rumour is that of Severus Snape, and it's going to be played by Papa Essiadu. We've not had any concrete information that this casting has happened or taken place, but the fact that this was reported by The Hollywood Reporter and other Hollywood trades means that maybe at least a meeting has taken place, and maybe he's in the running for either this role or another role in the series. Most of the other casting seems to just be mere speculation, but this is the only one so far that is got some weight behind it, but we'll have to wait and see. At the same time of Papa Essiadu's casting rumour of Snape, we got other casting reports of Dumbledore, McGonagal and Hagrid once again. Now, Mark Strong is seemingly the frontrunner to play Dumbledore, Sharon Horgan as Professor McGonagall, and Brett Goldstein as Hagrid. And some of these casting rumours could just be rumours, and there seems to be a negative reaction to some of the casting so far. In particular, over the last few days, Brett Goldstein as Hagrid. I've not seen Brett Goldstein in too much stuff. After seeing him in like Ted Lasso, I'm not sure he's the right fit for Hagrid. But, you know, I'm not casting this, I'm not the director of this, so they might see something I don't, or what fans don't see, so it's really up to them to make it work and make fans get behind it. I do think out of all the casting rumours so far, Mark Rylance potentially playing Dumbledore is my favourite, and I think that would be the best case going forward. But once again, Mark Rylance is an Academy Award-winning actor, and he is in his mid-60s, perfect age to play Dumbledore. But whether or not he wants to commit to this series for 8 years, and they can always recast down the line. You know, it happened with Richard Harris, unfortunately, because he passed away. And actors can walk away from things and get recast all the time, and it could be jarring for the audience, but at the end of the day we've got no control over that and have to accept what we're presented with. As I said though, I feel we're too close to Christmas now for HBO to announce any official castings, and I feel they will announce it in a spectacular way, probably with the full cast. I don't think they'll drip feed us casting announcements. I can't imagine they go 1 week, here's our Dumbledore, and then 3-4 weeks later they go, here's our McGonagal, and then maybe the week after that they go, here's our Hagrid. I feel like they're going to wait till everybody's cast and maybe do a big reveal and make it a big deal that these actors are all coming together to star in the Harry Potter series. But until there is any casting announcements, we can only speculate. So I'd love to read your thoughts on who you'd like to see cast in the Harry Potter series, both the early on characters and characters we might not see until future seasons of the series. Let me know in the comments, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure to click the bell icon to receive notifications for all of my future videos. That's it for now, thanks for tuning in.